Welcome to the Beats and Balance podcast, a space for conversations at the intersection of creativity, healing, and community. Each week, we sit down with artists, healers, and everyday people to explore stories of transformation, resilience, and the ways we use creativity to survive and thrive.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Beats and Balance podcast. Thanks for joining us today. We have a very special guest, Emmé White, also known as Emmé de la Soul, an artist, healer, and self-described Hoochie Priestess from Red Hook, Brooklyn. A fifth-generation Black American, Emmé works in divination, well woman care, healing sessions, and is rooted in African-American culture and guided by love, spirituality, and growth. Beyond her healing practice, she's also a poet, visual artist, singer, songwriter, actress, baker, and editor of MINKA Brooklyn's newsletter, bringing creativity and spirit together in everything that she does. And we are super excited to have her with us today. Emmé, thank you.
I love hearing someone else read my bio out. It sounds like really, really awesome. I'm here like, damn. Because I'm always really proud when I read it, because I'm like, yeah, I wrote the shit out of this bio. But
yeah, I had stopped reading them on the screen and doing a voiceover, but then I realized like when you read it in front of people, like their energy just like gives so much more hype. So now we're back to reading it. And yeah, you should, kudos to you for all that you do.
Thank you.
People should feel good about their work. And you do a lot of really dope work. So we talked a little bit for like 2 seconds before we started the podcast, and you're getting into the story behind your name. Yeah. And I was like, hold up, stop. Yeah. Let me hit record real quick so that the people could listen. Yeah. So let's start from where we left off. Just jump in and introduce yourself.
So what's up? I am Emmé de la Soul. You know, there's the story behind my name is a little bit of a long one. I'll try not to, take the entire podcast on it. But my given name is Maribeth. I'm named after one of my aunts, and everyone always mispronounces it and calls me Mary Beth. Hated that. My parents called me Mary Beth until they realized that they changed the spelling on my birth certificate. So for a couple of days when I was born, they mispronounced it and then they got it right. So that's the story of my life. Everyone mispronouncing my name. When I started at my last job, I worked in evil tech social media. And I was allowed to kind of come up with a different name for myself. And I chose Emmé because I used to watch a lot of Spike TV back in the day, and Spike TV used to have marathons of Gangland every Friday. And I was obsessed with that show. I learned so much about gang culture. And there's a Mexican gang, I believe they're Mexican, La Emmé, and it's literally just the M, and it's like the Mexican mafia. So yeah, they're Mexican, duh, whatever. But that was like my gang name, my gangster name for a little bit was La Emmé. And so it just was like, I'm just going to throw another M in there. And it's just like, people are like, what does it mean? It just means M. It's like M, I'm me.
The spiritual gangster.
Yeah. So,
that's dope.
Yeah. Thanks. I put the accent over the last E, just like I stole my sister's accent off of her name because her name is Renee. But, in all of my complaints about like phonics and pronunciation and all sorts of stuff, I didn't think that, the accent's going to change it to Emmé. So it's like I created the same problem that I tried to address.
All the way back around.
Yeah, but at least my given name stays sacred. So I'm happy with that.
And you have a dope story to tell, because that is...
I do.
I did not know it was going to go in that direction to the Mexican mafia. I would not have ever guessed, but that's super dope. Also cool, side note, coincidence, or not coincidence, because there are no coincidences, but I got my Reiki certification at MINKA. I know that stuff very well. Yeah, awesome. Manu and Aki. Yeah.
Awesome.
Back in the day. I saw that and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I know MINKA. Yeah. Very cool. I'm happy they're still going strong. This was like over 5 years ago.
Yeah. They actually are doing like 2 certifications this month and 1 next month for like Reiki 1, 2, and 3. So they're busy. I'm hoping to start hosting workshops through them soon.
Very dope.
because they have like this built-in like customer base and stuff like that. So it's like good.
Yeah, I was doing
Instead of
like
me hustling on my own, you know?
100%. I was like, during COVID, like they had this whole thing going on where all these different practitioners were offering all these different, and I like hopped in and took all these different classes with all these different people.
Nice.
Like Mal was there doing astrology and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate them for putting a lot of people on because I got to meet a lot of like really cool Black spirit workers just
Yeah.
through going to that one platform.
Yeah.
And that one space. I don't know if they're still in the same space. I think they were moving when I left, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
It's
MINKA.
cool that like I just kept happening upon different practitioners and stuff who would always end up being connected back to MINKA. Like, oh, they were a MINKA practitioner. Or like,
Yeah,
oh,
they
cool.
put a
So
lot of people on.
it's like, and it's people that I know and trust, and like my astrologer that I go to when I need a reading was a practitioner through MINKA. So it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this shit is legit because she's the only person I pay for, you know, divination and chart readings and stuff. So I'm like, you know, I'm very particular with how I spend my dollar, you know?
No, facts, for real. The person that I met through there when I was doing the astrology classes ended up seeing my wife when she was going through cancer. Like it was really like set in place, like lined up. So I definitely believe in the energy that's there. I feel like is legit because
Yeah.
it's like shown up for me in times out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And I'm not even that deeply connected to the space, but
Yeah.
when I
No,
see it, I'm like, all right, they're real.
yeah, I'm actually hella grateful to be connected with them. Like just even having their energy when I'm going through something, I'm just like, hey guys, I'm going through this right now. Just any good vibes and stuff, and they're like, oh, you're gonna make it. I'm like, oh, so this is what it feels like to be a part of a coven. I like this.
Yeah, I appreciate the community down there. Shout out to MINKA and Brooklyn and all the dope practitioners out there. I have
Yeah.
like so many people. All right, so let's hop into your healing work in particular. I know it's deeply tied into African American culture and ancestry. You want to talk a little bit about how your roots guide your approach to being a healer and a spirit worker?
Yeah. So all of okay, so I mean, with having ADHD, you tend to be very self-focused, and it's not because you're selfish, you're just kind of like you only see the world from your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of it. And then you look at other people like, what do you mean you don't see it from this point of view? So I kind of in my like spiritual work and just like even in you know, like doulaship and all those various different things I do, I always end up centering the Black experience. So then in centering that Black experience, it just kind of like I have no choice but to be connected to my roots and my ancestors and stuff because where will I learn from? You know, while I can learn from other practitioners, they're still getting their information from their ancestors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to grow and be deeper in my practice and my understanding of spirit work and healing work and just personal growth, I have to listen to what my people say, to what they did in their lives, to kind of like what feels good to me when I think about the people who came before me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
What is your talk to us a little bit about like your background? I know you talk about being 5 generations African American. I also have deep roots, like 8 generations from Kingston, New York. And I know for me, like I feel a deep connection to my ancestors, but when like my grandmother and folks were alive, they wouldn't have been down necessarily with the ways in which I'm practicing spirituality. Not everybody has that same upbringing. Black people are not a monolith, but you know, my great grandmother, who I was raised by, was Pentecostal, so she was deep in the church, and she had deep spiritual gifts. But the naming and the ways we talk about things, like I talk about doing Reiki, she would say she's laying hands. You know,
Uh-huh.
same
Uh-huh.
thing, different words, but she might have looked at me like, "You doing witchcraft?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how was that for you? What is your with your background and your folks more open to the type of healing that you do, or is it something that you came into on your own?
Yes. So make sure I remember life doula, like pin that so I don't forget because
Okay,
it's connected back to this.
I got you.
But the picture of my grandmother on my altar is her in church. Like she helped to found the church that's across the street from my mom's apartment right now. The same church that my mom eventually got baptized in. I got, you know, baptized when I was a baby at the same church that my father got baptized in, and that his parents attended, and the same church that he's buried at. So very, very religious, Methodist on my father's side and Baptist on my mom's side. My mom still goes to church on Sundays, and every now and then I pop out, and my mom fully knows, like, no, I'm a witch, but she also knows that the foundation of my work is still God. Even if I have a kind of different view of who God is and how they operate, or how I think they operate, because I can't ever, just like, I know how God, no, absolutely not. That's too arrogant. The universe is too complex for me to assume I know how all of this works, but I have one of my best friends is an Ifa priestess, and Lukumi, I want to say. I might be butchering that.
Yeah, my wife did that, Lukumi.
Yeah. So she's a priestess. I can't remember which Orisha she's, initiated under, but she, in the beginning of our friendship, she taught me a lot about ancestral veneration. And I would kind of struggle between, like, what's allowed and what's not, like, what, summoning ancestors, that sounds like, spirits, and that's evil according to the church. And she was kind of there, like, along the way for whatever random question I would have when we have, like, these long, deep conversations and stuff. Because that's what we do. We tend to get together and just hang out for, like, a whole afternoon just talking until we're both exhausted. And
are you an air sign?
We're both Scorpios.
Okay.
Yeah,
deep
so we
into
get
the
deep.
depth.
Yeah. We get deep into things, and we get deep into all the various spooky things. I love having her as a friend. She was supposed to call me this week, so if she watches this, Erica, you're being called out. You're being fucking called. But I give her grace. She's a mom to twins, and she's in grad school. She's a whole lot. So I try not to get frustrated.
It's okay if you don't make the call.
She'll come around when she comes around. It's cool. But with her help, and then just researching and reading and stuff, I started to learn that it's kind of like different ways to find balance between however you grew up within the Christian church and how you choose to approach other religions, and how the two are so interconnected and interrelated. And the only way to truly understand it is to dive deep into the history of our people in this country, our people across the diaspora, your particular people and their experience with religion and life in America. And there's so many different just connecting fibers and everything there to all of that you end up kind of settling in and finding peace, where it's like, okay, if I notice that I pray to my ancestors and something good happens, then they must be on my side. So you start kind of like making assumptions, but then you also like, there's this great book that I read, Spirits Come from Water. I want to say it might be the name of it. You email me, I will. No. If you give me 20 seconds, I can actually pull it up right on Spotify, because it is in my audiobooks.
Yeah, for sure. Let the people know. That sounds like a dope book.
It's genuinely awesome.
Yeah. Everything you're saying is like wildly resonant.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So one of her books is called Ancestors Said.
Okay.
But the one that I read, and I don't know why, of course, when I'm on the spot, it's like, no, we're going to, take forever.
No, it's no problem. That's how the universe works sometimes. But yeah, I think, as you were saying, for me, it was also the realization that, like, you can have the same practices and have it be called different names, and people all around the world kind of do these same things, and it works for them.
I trusted myself the first time. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
I said I was right. I should have trusted myself the first time. The book is called Spirits Come from Water.
Dope.
And it's one woman's kind of like, she tells the story of her parents coming from, I want to say Nigeria, but I can't remember exactly. And kind of her family's experience of moving here and keeping their religion with them, and this religion and the gods that they had from when they were back in Africa for many, many, many generations back. But the story in the book as a whole was written in a way that just, like, it held African Americans in the most gentle way, you know, where you don't always get that in pursuit of African traditional religions.
Yeah.
As a Black American.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a beautiful book. It's making me emotional to think about it. It's a beautiful book.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think those are some of the most special moments when you have like those breadcrumbs that kind of come across your path that you're not expecting, but then kind of like open up your whole world to something else.
Yes. And
you.
in opening up my world through this book, so I learned, you know, different methods for divination and things like that. But more than anything, I learned that when ancestors pass on, they kind of leave those earthly judgments behind. Likely, and they just love you. They're just like, yeah, we're just here to support you. We're down for the vibe. And I'm like, what? And that, you know, so yeah, but that was like a 10-year journey.
Yeah.
You know, to look back on that, to think that this has been 10 years of me kind of expanding in my idea of religion. And then to eventually get to a point where I'm like, okay, well, I have a new service to offer that is safe for those making that journey in their religion, in their religious journey or whatever. You know, the people who are, you know, leaving the church, or they grew up in the church and stuff. So they're not cool with tarot cards. They don't like, you know, divination is of the devil, and, you know, can't use it and can't do that. And like all of that is, you know, that you're going to hell. It's like, all right. So that's when I came up with the Hoochie Priestess life doula session, where it's like, you come to me, you tell me your problems, and I give you advice. I don't touch a deck. I don't touch shells. I don't touch anything.
Oh, wow.
You literally just sit there and you tell me your problems. And I ask questions like, you know, how old are you? Where did you grow up? Where are your people from? If this involves your romantic partner, where's their people from? What kind of work do you do? And so I'm asking like all of these different questions just because I know so much about life. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And I know a lot. I know enough to make kind of like informed guesses about, oh, so you're dealing with this. Cool. Number one, don't worry. Everyone else deals with this too. Cool. Here's how to approach it. And I give just people just personalized life advice. It may include, you know, like, hey, try some herbs that are around this. It may include some movement advice, because I'm a yoga instructor too. So it's like, try doing this more and moving that way more and stuff like that. I'm a doula, so I might talk about, you know, reproductive health and things that they could be doing to improve that if they're having issues around that. And I'm just human, and I'll give them advice about love and life and family and all of these things that I know to be true about life.
Very cool.
And that has become one of my favorite sessions, because I really get to get into people's business without the blockages of trying to interpret a card and just like, it's like, oh no, thanks. You gave me all the information without me having to guess it. And now I'm still going to drag you for filth, but now I can drag you effective and efficiently, you know, because that's what I do when I do my tarot readings. It really is kind of just like, all right, you signed up to be bullied for the next 30 minutes. Let's get into it. Yeah. And it's a very loving thing. Plenty of readings. We both end crying and hugging at the end and stuff. But it's like, you've booked me to tell you the things that you're ignoring. And I'm down to do that because I love telling people what to do, not what to do necessarily, but how they can improve upon things in their lives.
I think that was a Freudian slip.
Probably.
All right, so
quick thank you to our listeners. We partnered with Mantra Matcha and Severista Coffee to give you exclusive discounts. Clean, steady matcha energy and smooth, low caffeine coffee, no jitters. Use code BALANCE.
you call yourself a Hoochie Priestess. I had to double check that because I almost wrote down Hoodoo Priestess when I was doing the bio. What does that name mean for you?
So it's funny, right before I fell asleep last night, I was like, oh, am I going to be asked about Hoochie Priestess? Like, where did I come up with that title? And so it came from not one of the first raps that I wrote. So I've been writing my little rhymes since high school. Whatever, sorry. I wrote this rap like a couple of years ago, and it's actually entitled Hoochie Priestess. And it's this very cute little like flow. And I think I call myself a Coochie Princess and Hoochie Priestess.
That's
and I thought it was dope. And the whole flow is like very cutesy, very dope, very fun. And I asked my friend, Erica, I'm like, hey, is this like wrong, disrespectful or something? Like, is somebody gonna strike me down or something if I call myself a Hoochie Priestess? She's like, no, because you're not saying you are a initiated priestess of a particular Orisha or anything. That's just a title that you want to put on yourself, then you absolutely are. I absolutely am. I, grew up like under beautiful hoochie influences. I had the experience of 90s hoochies and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
I'm a millennial raised by boomers and had a Gen X big sister. So very actually all of my sisters were Gen X. So it's very interesting influences. But yeah, Hoochie is life. Hoochie is life. I call my apartment a rest haven for hoes, a sanctuary for scandalous teases and stunts. And it's just
nice.
like that's always been my vibe. Like I'm a safe space for how you choose to show up if it's making you happy and you're living your true self and it's not to the detriment of others. Being a hoochie is not neglecting your kids and, turning up, drinking or whatever. Like, no. It's more of an aesthetic, a vibe. It's showing up to work on the first day with a crop top on and being like, y'all said I could wear anything, so I figured I'd wear this.
Yeah. Freedom of expression, right?
Yeah, freedom of expression, freedom to be my baxiest version of myself,
Oh God, I haven't seen that movie in so long. That's a throwback.
It's one of my favorites. It is one of my favorites. I love it. But
throwback.
of course that's an exaggerated portrayal of Black women, but it's like, is it? Because there are Black women who look exactly like that and
no, of course,
live exactly like that. We're a spectrum, we're a field of wildflowers. That's hoochiedom, field of twerking wildflowers. And I fully live into the Hoochie Priestessness by doing things like offering yoni steams, like sunshine pussy, because it'll make your pussy so good that if you throw it in the air, it'll turn into sunshine. No, that's what you call Harlem Nights reference.
Oh yeah. Damn.
So
all of the throwbacks.
Yes. I told you, I am a kid of the night. I grew up I'm a TV ass kid more than anything. I am a TV ass kid.
I feel that. No, I really I appreciate the reclamation of hoochie. And as like a lot of folks that grew up in the Black church, there can be a lot of stigma attached to and over sexualization of Black women and things like that. So I really love the reclaiming that and Jesus was hanging out with hookers and drug dealers and pimps and murderers. So
exactly. Did you ever watch Black Jesus?
Did you ever watch Black Jesus?
Yeah.
With,
it was
does it just come out?
Not just came out. It used to air on Adult Swim like years ago.
Oh, the
but
cartoon.
It was a live action show, but it was by Aaron McGruder, and it 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 was honestly a great show. I genuinely enjoyed it because it's like if Jesus was just like a black dude from LA, yeah, he could potentially just be like this, and he's just trying to help his homies thrive. Like that's it. He doesn't want any drama, or he's trying not to get crucified. He's just trying to like live his life and grow some weed with his friends.
Exactly. What if God was one of us? It's
Yeah.
a potent message. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the other stuff you're into. You work across a lot of different mediums, poetry, music, art, baking. Talk a little bit about all those things and how you mix your creativity and intersect that with your healing practice.
Ooh. Well, I make art. I'm surrounded by my art. You know, like here's some shit. I'm just like dropping shit. Here's some here. This is an unfinished piece. I really need to finish it, but I'm wearing some of my art. I customized this shirt and these like fancy little army fatigues that I got on. So definitely an artist. Poetry kind of like was just something that like flowed for me. And I figured that I was going to use it to kind of get to songwriting and singing and stuff like that. And so I'm kind of on that journey, but I'll still love poetry because there's some poems that just aren't spoken. They're better off read.
I like that.
So there's poetry. But as far as like, I kind of tie poetry into my spiritual work in a sense because just through spoken word and the power of just speaking words and prayer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like being a poet, I'm able to guide meditations or prayers or get through readings just with more creativity and flair. It's just more fun just because it's just kind of like vibing out of me.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, you have to remind me the question again.
I was just asking about your different mediums and your creativity and how you intersect that with your healing practice, because you do a lot of things. So it's kind of just like, do you find time to do everything separately, or is it you're doing all these things and it kind of all intersects with, like you're weaving everything in and your paths kind of all cross together?
They all cross together, honestly. And spirituality is kind of like the undercurrent, I guess. Like it's the thing it's like the spine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the spine that's kind of keeping everything standing and upright and going. Because shit don't shake unless I make it to the altar and say a quick prayer. And I set the intention of this is what I want, this is what I need to do, this is what I want to focus on. Well, then I'm going to make it happen because now I have the focus on it and spirit has the focus on it too. We're working together, instead of not just like, oh, I'm praying for this checklist of all of these 16 different attributes. Great. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to put a little glow around your life. Like, that's like aura work, I feel like, to me. Mm-hmm. When you do like a jar and it's just a bunch of like herbs and intentions and this and that, and you just mix it, it's like, yeah, it's a vibe. But when I really need some shit done, it's like, okay, I need to go talk to God real quick, Yeah. Co-creating. But that's the same thing as like going to altar call, But I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. I can't remember where I was going. Damn it.
That's okay.
Knew that was going to happen.
It went where it was supposed to go.
I use the spirituality to guide me in each of my practices, right? So it's like, it's through divination. It's through things like scheduling different calls and different meetings on different days to make sure that aligns with the planetary energy of the day. Wow. It's like little, that's how I plan my workouts for the week, where Mondays are restorative yoga because it's a moon day, and Tuesdays are strength training because it's a Mars day. Today was yoga because it's a Wednesday, it's a Mercury day. It's, just having that. And then from there, that helps me to form routines. And routines are what make the magic happen, So yeah, some sort of spirituality is always,
the undercurrent.
Yeah.
Love that. the intentionality of it all. And yeah, routines can be really great to keep you focused and on top of doing all the things. But I think also like it is like a spiritual practice in of itself. Like it becomes kind of like, for me, like I like when I'm doing my routines now don't feel like routines anymore. They kind of just feel like a part of my like
Yeah.
personality or my day, or like you're
Yeah.
kind of like in a trance when you're just like, like autopilot.
Yeah.
So I have to stop and remember and be like, oh yeah, like you did. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm like falling off. Like I'm not doing anything spiritual. I didn't like, go sit at my altar or go do this. But it's like, no, like you do every day you're doing stuff and you're not
Every
even
day
thinking
you're
about
doing
it.
something.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a whole practice. It's like you work out 30 minutes so that you know how to move throughout the rest of the day. You pray for, once a week, once a day or whatever, so that you know how to intentionally connect with spirit throughout the rest of the day,
Yeah, that's real. All right. So talk to us a little bit about what you have going on, anything that you are hoping to work on next, or projects you're excited about.
What am I working on right now? I feel like right now I am firmly in hustle mode. Like I have several things that I want to accomplish, several hustles that I want to get off the ground and everything. And now that I'm settled in at my job, I can like actually dig in, like, okay, this is my desk. This is my computer. I use this desk and this computer every day instead of every week I'm someplace different and, just bumping and moving around. So it's like, all right, cool. I can start hustling cakes in here and selling cake slices or, whatever. I'm listed as a practitioner on MINKA's site. So now I can start offering workshops through there. So most I can say is definitely stay tuned to my Instagram, because that's where, of course, anytime something's for sale, upcoming performances, anything like that, that's where it'll get posted. I'm brewing my next batch of tinctures. I make 2 tinctures. One is a overall chakra balancing good vibes tincture, and it kind of cures what ails you. Whatever you got going on, you just take a shot of it and you'll start feeling better. Then I sell a moon cycle one that is good for overall well woman care throughout the month, but also helps when you're on your, like, the first days of your cycle and like you're getting hit with all of the things. It addresses everything down to those really, really painful, like, butt gas cramps and shit like that you get. Like, yeah, it gets all of that.
Wow.
And I think I actually sold out of that one the last time I had it for sale. So I'm kind of proud of myself.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I sell those. I'm looking to get placed in a store, hopefully, for all my various things. Like I said, I sell, yoni steams, a situationship recovery yoni steam, which is great.
Let the people know.
Yeah, it's antifungal, anti-fuckboy, antiviral, anti-fuckboy. It's essentially anti-fuckboy. And the great thing about my yoni steams is that they can also just be drank as teas. So they're dual purpose if you don't have a yoni but feel like you could benefit from it.
That's dope.
I sell like various different teas and stuff. I sell aura sprays and aura sprays, mojo bags, spiritual baths, honey jars, and spell work. I do divination, and I have several different styles of divination. I have the Hoochie Priestess life doula sessions, which I said earlier, just one-on-ones. We get real about you and life. No divination. I of course I do art, so I've got art for sale and I'm available for commissions. I'm also a singer, songwriter, and poet, so always available for bookings, performances, and shit like that. I also act, but acting ends up being weird with like work schedule, with the whole showing up for rehearsals and stuff, so I don't really act a ton. I might act a fool, but I don't act a ton.
Got a lot going on.
I have a lot going on. Yeah.
Very cool. Let me ask you one last question. Since this is a question I usually ask everybody, but I haven't asked you yet. And since you have so much going on, what do you do for self-care and to prevent burnout and to make sure that you can keep all those different wheels moving in a way that's balanced for you. What's your advice for folks out here?
Don't be like me, folks. Go to fucking bed. Okay? Go the fuck to sleep. And I actually, no, you should be like me because I fight for my life trying to get sleep every night. Last night was the first night all week that I've actually gotten really good sleep. And it's because I slept on the couch. My bedroom is apparently too messy for me to sleep in. And so every time I fall asleep, I get congested. So it's like, all right, on next week's to-do list, clean bedroom.
Yeah,
so
that's real.
I try my best to be in bed by 12:30. And I know that's late, but it works for me and my little ADHD body. It's cool. And sometimes I get to bed even earlier by like 11:30, 10:30 sometimes if I'm very tired and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to sleep. But I get up the same time every day. I get up 6 a.m. every day, unless I have to be at work early, and then I'm up at 4 a.m. and that's ghetto. But thankfully that ends now. So I get up, I work out every day with the exception of Saturday, Sundays, like if I feel like it, but usually I'm out enjoying life as my workout. But I move my body. My 80 something year old aunt still works out 30 minutes a day. She does some sort of movement. So that's key to life. That's my self-care. I make sure that I eat. My job where I'm at now, I work in jail. So I have to bring my own food. Otherwise, you got to eat jail food. No one wants to eat jail food. That's real. You don't want to eat jail food. So you bring your own food in. And so I try and make healthier choices because I'm also sitting on my ass all day and I don't want to end up just like spreading and or just having, not even gaining weight, just having health issues just from having that food just kind of sitting here. Blocking all those chakras and everything, causing, constipation and stuff. Nah, I like get that shit out of here. Let that shit go,
No, that's real.
So yeah, I do that. I try and bring as much joy into my life as possible. I'll absolutely throw a tantrum, absolutely cry, get it out. But I'm also very self-aware and know that, yeah, I'm going to crash out right now. Like this isn't I blacked out, I didn't know what happened. No, I'm fully aware. I just need to get this out because I'm tired of holding it in. Whatever gets broken in the process gets broken and I will deal with it after. Whether that's tears, whether that's, actually breaking things, whether that's going silent. I'm like, nope, that's it. Weed definitely helps. Therapy definitely helps. Shout out to my therapist. Thank God for her. I'm on like her pro bono clients or whatever for the year. So thank God for that because I needed it for this transition into jail life.
Love free therapy.
Yeah.
That's a whole come up.
Yeah. May that happen forever. Or happen for more people or something. The world needs therapy, but we need good therapists, right? Because one of my terrible friends, I convinced him to go to therapy, and boy, what a mistake. He learned therapy speak and used it to manipulate know. And I was like, oh no,
those
I'm
people are the
creating a
fucking
monster.
Oh no. Yeah, no, you gotta watch out for the spiritual narcissists out there using all the lingo, but not living or practicing any of the shit. Yeah, I know some of those folks. Shout out to them for leaving my life.
So you got a dope background. You're all out in nature and shit. That's nice.
I'm in Germantown, Philadelphia, in the hood.
Oh, well, y'all got mad trees in the hood.
Wissahickon Park is down the street.
I keep my apartment full of plants. That's one thing that is you notice as soon as you walk in. Actually, my doormat is a leaf. And so from the time you walk in, it's like your apartment's very green. And it's a shame that I'm talking about my plants and I did not get to water them this week. They're probably like, bitch, you have some nerve.
Oh, reminder for you to hop onto that after this call.
Yeah, if I got time.
Feed your babies. But yeah, we're about to wrap up here.
Cool.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
hopping on the podcast and for sharing and being vulnerable. I love that. Thank you for sharing your self-care tips and also being vulnerable when, you know, the struggle is real,
I
because we
forgot
all
to
out here. Good.
I forgot to mention, I do have a newsletter, and the next edition is coming out hopefully by end of this week. If not, then by next week it'll be out. But that one, it's kind of like Martha Stewart grew up in the hood, because I grew up in the projects. And it's like some life advice, a little bit of like divination, tarot, astrology, whatever, kind of like editorial, kind of like reflection on life kind of thing. So it's just my newsletter. Like, I be having shit to say, and I'm like, everybody else sends newsletters and
Very
like,
cool.
you know, tries to sell their shit. Let me do it. But yeah.
Where can people find your newsletter?
So it should be available for sign up via my website, EMMEDELASOL.com.
All right.
Or on my Instagram, which is the same handle, Emmé De La Soul, you know, at Emmé De La Soul. There is a sign up link there as well.
All right, dope. And we'll have that down in the show notes, everybody, so you can check out their website, Instagram, and sign up for the newsletter. And, you know,
and there's also like a anonymous advice column.
Oh, very cool.
It's an anonymous advice column. So
like
if you got a problem, yep, I'll solve it.
I forget the name of that. It was back in the day. Dear somebody. Dear Annie.
Yeah.
Dear something. You remember?
Yeah. Pretty
much. Shout out to her. Very cool. All right. We're going to wrap it up here, but thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
A part of this. Yeah. Shout out to Millie for the recommendation.
Shout out to her always.
Yeah. Introducing me to so many cool folks that are on this path. Yes. And for everybody listening, thank you so much. We will be back next Thursday. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Bye.